In this tutorial, we're going to cover adding products that use components. For example, for a hollow metal frame, 5 3/4, 3070 right hand, that's made up of 3 components: a head, a hinge jamb, and a strike jamb, and with some manufacturers, a bundling charge. So this will cover how to add those components for that frame. Now, it is optional. You don't have to use components. You can use the full 3-sided frame as your part number for tracking inventory or anything else. So if you want to get down to the lower level of it with components, that's the part that will be tracked in inventory. So we come up here, click on Add Edit Products, and we're going to use DKS. This is not part of Toad, so when you're adding these frames, first thing you want to do is come in here, we'll select hollow metal frames, and when we do that, you can see right now we don't have anything for DKS. So before you can add a frame with components, you have to make sure the components are available. So we'll come back in here and we'll change this to hollow metal frame components. Now if we look at the list, we can see we only have the 2 components. Let's say we want to add a 3070 5 3/4 left hand frame. It looks like right now we've got the head and the hinge jamb, so we still need the strike jamb. So we'll need to build the strike jamb first before we can build that frame with components. So to make it easy, I'll go ahead and select this existing hinge jamb item, and you can see it opens everything up. There's the SKU number. Non-Toad items do begin with the letter N on the SKU. And instead of a hinge jamb, this will be a strike jamb. So all I have to do is change that part number to whatever I need. And when I move out of that, when I click, let's say, the next field, you can see the part number goes away. But it leaves everything else for me, so I don't have to re-enter everything. So we're going to change this from hinge to strike jamb. Maybe the price is a little bit different. Let's say it's $95 for a strike jamb, or hinge jamb rather, and that's a 6/8 left hand. Down here we need to change this stick type from hinge jamb to strike jamb 6/8 left. But everything else is going to remain the same. So I don't have to, well, maybe the weight at hinge jamb is probably more than 10 pounds. It's probably well, I'm going to leave it at 10. I'm not sure what the weight would be, just as long as we have something in there. Okay, so now I'm going to save the product. Now when we look, now we can see we have all 3 components needed to build a full 3-sided frame. So now we're going to change the category to hollow metal frames. And now I can go ahead and start building my frame. Try to be consistent on the format and of how you build your part numbers. So we'll do F16. And this will be F16 3070 5 3/4 6/8 left hand. And that should be what we're going to need. So this is a hollow metal frame. Left hand, we'll just take this part out of the description. And we'll leave that active. Again, if you want to create your PDF sheet, you would create the file, save it to a shared drive, as we've talked about in other tutorials. And then once you save it to a shared drive, don't save it to your hard drive if you have more people in your company that are using Portal Pro, because if you're gone on vacation or something, your computer shut down, is password protected, they won't be able to turn it on to get to that PDF file. So always use a server with a shared drive, or a PC that's turned on all the time to create a folder where you store your PDF files. And then you just click Get File, and that will open up in the folder where you keep or else navigate to it, and then just double click that file. Now I'm not going to do that because I don't want to save that as the PDF. Over here we're going to put the actual frame in, and the frame will be the whatever the price is. I'm just going to type 201 for now. Make sure you have the correct discount selected, and the total weight might be 45 pounds. And we're going to check this box. Has components. Now we can see that it automatically checks non-inventory item, because this frame, full-sided, three-sided frame, will not be tracked in inventory, but the components that I use will be. So I'll go ahead and click Add Components. You can see it automatically puts in DKS. So I need to select the correct category. Now I can go through and select the components I need. First we'll start with the head. We have a quantity of 1. And it automatically pulls in the price for me and everything. Now we'll click Add Component. Here's the first one. Now let's do the hinge jamb, quantity of 1. And we'll click Add Component. And now we'll do the strike jamb, quantity of 1. And we'll add that component. So you can see we've actually got a total list of $238 for that frame. And all 3 components are now added. Now the $238, when I click Done, will automatically be entered over here for the list price. So now we have the frame built, the PDF cut sheet if we have one, the price and everything, and the components built. So now we can click Save Product. Oh, excuse me, we need to enter this down here. Actually, that's not a 307, that's a 3068. I'm glad I caught that. So we need to change that first, because that's what the components were. So we'll put 3068 here. Now this is used for the door schedule. By filling in these fields now, when you select this frame on a door schedule, it will automatically populate all these fields for you. So I believe that's an ME4000. Gauge is 16. Finish, I believe, is, well, it's unfinished. Or no, it's actually prime paint. Handing is a left hand. Material, I'll say cold rolled. I don't think they galvanize, they might, but we're going to use cold rolled for now. And this is a single swing 3-sided frame and a jamb depth of 5 3/4. So now we can click Save Product. So now if you look at the drop down, we have this, our frame built. Now if we want to continue on, maybe build a right hand, you'd have to make sure the components for a right hand are built first, and then all you have to do is come in here and change that to right hand. And when I move out of that box, you can see the SKU number goes away, and all I have to do is make the necessary changes, make that right hand, change this to right hand. Price and everything should all be the same. I can click Save Product. Now we'll create a right-handed frame with the necessary components. I'll change my components in there to right hand, hinge, and strike jamb. Okay, so that's to do it. Now if you're working with something like Curry's, you're going to be adding your components and things like that through Add Toad. So keep that in mind. And adding products through Toad is covered in another tutorial. So that should cover it. If you have any questions or concerns about this, please call our office and we'll be more than happy to help you out. Thanks again. Have a great day.